G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a two-shot Hellstorm missile launch with 25% faster fire rate and 15% faster reload. Now, this weapon is a doozy, because the only reason I'm having this now in a live server is because, well, you do the Steel Dawn quest line and you just get a non-legendary one, but we can make legendaries with their own slots now, so I was able to scrounge up a two-shot fire rate one, which is pretty good. But the thing is, though, this missile launcher isn't actually that good at all. In fact, when in comparison to the missile launcher that was in the game since the get-go, just the standard one, although it ends up being heavier than this is by about 6 pounds, as I've got it modified here compared to the stock modification one, well, it does more damage. So why the hell is this one so rare, so unique? Such a grind to get it? I don't know. Maybe Bethesda will one day buff this thing and make it worth using. You'll also notice how it's got the Ace paint on it. Makes it blue, gives it some stars. So we've got an outfit to match. It'll be like a G.I. Joe type deal. So we'll go over the attachments because, whoops, there's a thing we need to do here. We need to discuss the different types of attachments it can have. So I did end up testing all of these during a live stream on the PTS, and I had the conclusion that the one worth using the most is the standard barrel right here with the 4 missiles inside that. Now, you could use this one to get a slightly higher rate of fire and ammo capacity, but you end up costing yourself damage. Although the revolving tube, I must admit, is pretty awesome, but the standard barrel is the way to go because the plasma, napalm, and cryo payloads, they blow you up and kill you. This one doesn't if you've got a dense chest piece and fireproof to go along with it. So in close quarters, this will be the one to get. Plus, it doesn't add any extraneous damage that can be easily more, I guess, resisted by higher damage resistances by their respective types. So this is definitely the way to go. So if you are looking to use a Hellstorm missile launcher and looking to save a few gold bullion, don't buy these. As for the sights, you've got a recon scope. It's better than not having a recon scope because if you use a standard sights, it's just a little thing on the side and basically your whole right field of vision is cut off. So that's a nice little thing to use. It also lets you track targets. So if you're doing distant thunder, you can use it with that because that's the only reason I'd ever see anyone using a thing. You can have that too. It's not really useful, to be honest. I think it gives you superior magnification, which is like a long scope, which these projectiles move at the speed of a bloody snail, so don't ever do that. We're using these in close quarters, and we'll spec accordingly and fit it out accordingly. Let's go ahead and chuck on some perks. Now, Demo Expert is a must-have here. We've got room for Bloody Mess. That's it. Gunner, Heavy Gunner doesn't actually affect this thing's damage too much, so we're at 526. Chuck on, didn't get it. If we chuck on Heavy Gunner now, we are still at wait a minute. I think I just took off Bandolier. Huh. Right. Okay, well, this changes things, doesn't it? Because normally, launch weapons like this, they aren't affected by Heavy Gunner, and I'm going to demonstrate that, because I'm sure I've got a missile launcher sitting around somewhere. Broadsider, you'll do, and a grenade launcher, fine, that's good enough. So, 219, we pull a Heavy Gunner perk off, still 219. So, okay, so this thing double dips. That might be enough to swing my favor in a weapon like this. That is unfortunately going to mean we're going to be missing out on Blocker, Barbarian, faster reloads because we cannot simply not use this because the missiles are way too heavy. And even with those missiles, you know, slightly lightened by this, they weigh the same as a grenade. The 40mm grenades was completely unspec'd with that perk, so you can't be running around with a ton of these things. See, even a 120 stack is still 24 pounds, so, you know, we really ought to hope these things will be worth it, but it was looking pretty bad there until I decided to put the Heavy Gunner perks on, and that surprised me. I didn't test that because my character was, my stealth commander didn't have any of those perks to utilize, but, ooh, interesting. Okay, so here we are inside of Camp McCarran, and there's something wrong with these NCR troopers. They're a little bit taller and greener than they are. This is the outfit and what the missile launcher looks like for all Armor Ace G.I. Joe. I don't think G.I. Joe... Did they ever have women soldiers? I don't know. I wasn't around when that was a thing. Anyways, die. Ooh, yes, one-shot kill. That's what we want to see out of this. Now, I'm not playing on the PTS right now, which means you may have noticed there was a Grenadier perk in my perk loadout, but it don't work none. And those missiles just went and they warped into the universe. It probably went back into the real McCarran and New Vegas. But so far, so good, and we aren't blowing ourselves up. Look at that. Can stand right next to the explosions, not dying. Can't do that with any other barrel except for the one that gives you inferior damage, so don't use that one ever. Now, we're going to get a slight AP penalty for using this recon scope, but we can aim like that. We can aim with slightly more precision, not being obstructed by the weapon we're holding, which I think is a neat little touch. I don't mind that, but mostly we want to hit them in the legs in VATS because it makes explosions happen. It affects the explosion, and once we get Grenadier working with these weapons next patch, you'll notice that you'll probably get around the same damage hitting the torso at that point because the radius is so large with the 2 ranks of Grenadier, which is nice. We'll jump up here. I think we haven't dealt with these dogs yet. So yeah, and that one eat me, got me radworms, but honestly, joke's on you because now we're doing over 1,000 damage thanks to my nerd rage, adrenal reaction, that one. But yeah, we can now more reliably one-shot these guys, and we don't have to worry about taking too much damage back because these enemies are basically on fire and forget mode. Not fire to forget, that's usually drink to forget. I was mixing up my sayings there. But as you can tell, pretty good. Might have to go ahead and revisit this, or just the Hellstorm missile launcher in general, once we get the patch dropping. But honestly, this one's feeling like a keeper at the moment, which is great. And remember, we started at 120, we're down to 92. I wonder how far I can push those 120 missiles. Now, honestly, it's kind of sad that this particular missile launcher doesn't have a tracking option like the standard one does, because that would make this thing like a 4-barreled Stinger versus Scorch Beast, which is great. Also, I'm going to do the old leading ghouls around here just to get him out. I might actually do a Stimpack so I don't die. Adrenal reaction damage be damned. I'll bonk you on the noggin just to get you up and about. Expertly dodge that one by walking right past him. Oop, got stuck on that one. There we go. Finally hitting me, are ya? I'd love to have blocker right now, but it's not an option. Now, is Bambi and its mates around because you need to go. Ooh, nice dodge. There we go. Didn't miss a second, Ruffy. Righto, here we go. Now, obviously, once these guys get their range of explosions, the radius sorted out, this would probably be a whole lot more effective. Or you dog starver. We'll keep on running around. I don't think you have a running penalty with heavy guns like you did back in Fallout 4. Maybe they eliminated that when they... it might be like a speed demon thing that kind of helps alleviate that a little bit. We'll jump over here just to disrupt their pathing. And hopefully we'll all lead them in one spot. That one's actually slipped out the gates there and started walking backwards in a very rapid fashion. But we're almost ready to go. And I wish there was a quicker way to round these ghouls up. Actually, we've got a couple of stragglers coming through the gates right now. Let's not break their pathing by jumping. Nice. I'm an expert ghoul dodger these days. I dodge these ghouls like I dodge my taxes to the NCR. That's why I shut up Camp McCarran, you see. Anyways, that's about right. Let's go that. Alright, nice. Not a full mag dump, but a bunch of kills with 3 rockets, I think is a fairly successful endeavor there on this particular ghoul section. And that one's stuck in the bus. Hey, Huddle, there's a gremlin in the side of the bus. Hang on a second. I need to get this missile right in there. No problemo, Bart, dude. Huh. What do you know? The the school buses in this universe have got tank armor or something. Alright, now, time to extend the range out a little bit. I'm going to start sniping with my missile launcher because I can. Even with this just standard reflex recon scope, I think it's quite enough. We can hold our breath to steady our shot. It's away. And not dead. That's weird. You are going to stand there in your little shack despite being shot by a missile, which she took it kind of well. She didn't lose any limbs until the second lot of missiles. We'll go for a headshot there because I can. So I think someone said that the thing splits its damage kind of twice. Instead of being all explosive damage, there's a little bit of missile damage in there as well, which is probably why it works with heavy gunner. I'm not sure if that's intended or not. Maybe. I haven't actually had a lot of other test references to go with this, because as soon as I got this on the stream the other day, I was like, yep, good enough. Let's not change it. Let's not jinx this, because it's the one I'm going to be using. Bloody Tesla rifle, eh? What it is it? Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. Actually, I think that's the first B25 one I got, and that would do some pretty good work. But anyways, let's not think about what that holds us in the future. Also, this it's got like cloth physics on the bottom of the jacket. You notice that? It's kind of weird. Anyways, Swan's out and about on his nightly walk, probably taking a piss, probably in the same pond that he sleeps in. And that was probably a 3 missile kill there, which I will not say no to. It's pretty good. I'm definitely liking the ammo capacity of this because, you know, if you want to have the same sort of weight of a missile launcher, I mean, the lightest you can get a missile launcher is like 20 pounds. So you've got all this punch, but you don't have to pay for it in weight either. Alright, time to kill some bloody crabs, eh? Due to standard testing procedures, we've got a Miloc Deep King over there. Wouldn't mind to gather these guys up in one big old pile. The crackheads might be doing that for me, and if they're close enough to get eaten by the Miloc King, I'm going to fire a missile their way. Well, you weren't close enough. Looks like the Miloc Kings and everything kind of got there before me. Almost there. There we go. What have I got? Awesome. Alright, so that was a fairly simple kill there. Obviously, we didn't get hit because we're in the air all the time, and we did end up picking up a legendary. Definitely not a good follow-up to the B25 Tesla rifle I just grabbed. Yeah, okay, sure. Fair enough. 3 missiles later, or 6 if you think 2-shot fires twice at once. By the way, how are we holding up in... Huh. It's alright. We do have 3 ranks of gunsmith on because I don't need anything like stabilize, and having stabilize would be suicide right now because that would be in... That'd mean I'd be in power armor. So, for the first couple of missiles there, we actually didn't get any of that extraneous other damage, but we've actually managed to kill it in 6, which is not bad. Leaves us plenty for this next section here. We're doing this with 52. This is probably one of the more ammo-efficient missile launchers I've ever used, which is kind of saying not much, actually. But it's good. Feels good to be able to get this much mileage out of just 120. Alright, this fight might be the most difficult, but since this thing's demonstrated of doing a little bit more than just the explosive damage, the mere explosion damage, I think we'll be okay. Let's just quickly dispatch of these 3, and then we'll get to the main meat of this. Now, do I have anything that could possibly bring them around? I got a plasma grenade. That'll surely get your attention, mate, right? He seems fairly disinterested. I'll have to go down in his visual range there. And you didn't die. I'm going to smack ya. I'm not sure if the bash damage is doubled up. That's just kind of happened. Oof, that hurt. That kind of happens with these weapons sometimes. We'll go for the leg here. And it's working. It's doing well. And 6 missiles to kill a Scorch Beast. Not bad. This one will need a little bit more. But if you would like to land, that would be good. We killed everything? Yep. 2 missiles for 3 kills there. I'm not going to say no. And that second shot was kind of wasted there. That missile will fly into the ether. Which way is that? South? I don't think that's going... That's going Texas way. The winds will take it towards Texas. Alright. We got dodgy, so that's kind of screwing over our AP, but we've got the accuracy to back ourselves in a situation where we are firing at a Scorch Beast leg. Now what are you going to do? Can't punch me with these swords and other shovels, can ya? Really want that Scorch Beast dead. Using a lot of AP would use a lot less. There we go. Would have used a lot less if I had things like... I don't know, maybe the standard iron sights would have helped me out a little bit there. Ended up firing out of VATS and the missiles went to nowhere. So that leaves us with 22 left to deal with the second one if it wants to pop out of its hole. And I'd like to get like a ground shot on a Scorch Beast with this thing. We've got a small window of time before it actually gets out. And if we can get sneak criticals with it, that'd be hilarious. Gonna be honest, I don't think we'll be getting one out today. Nope. We'll just take it out by killing all these red dudes. There. And we even get a little bit of score at the end, eh? What could be better than that? So, there you have it. Hellstorm missile launcher, 2-shot, fire rate, the faster reload. I think we got very good use out of all of these effects, to be honest. Another tertiary legendary effect that would be really good on this would be break slower. Weightless would be good. I think that's kind of it. Hitman's would be good for the secondary legendary effect. Obviously, the thing's fire rate isn't that high for starters, so Hitman's would be good. VATS accuracy would be great. Critical maybe would work because we're getting a little bit of explosion damage, like I've said several times. I'm going to snipe at that fat ghoul. It's just wasting missiles now. There we go. We got some sort of hits there. Didn't do too much. You know what? I think I'm just going to leave them. Yeah, there you go. Hellstorm missile launcher. Finally got it, and that's because we haven't got the plan. I just happened to not do Steel Dawn until this weekend, or at least halfway through Steel Dawn to get this, and I would have completely dropped it and cast it away if I had have done it earlier, so I've made the right decision there, and I got lucky and rolled a really good one. Probably would recommend a grenade launcher over this simply because the ammo is cheaper, more plentiful, and lighter. The weight of the ammo here, I think, is a major turnoff, and that the condition bar isn't too great either. But you know, if Bethesda wants to, they could buff it to make it a little bit more viable. Perhaps if they want to add like high velocity missiles, so you don't have to worry about using these things at such close range to make them effective, or making the other ones an actual decent enough choice to choose over the standard barrel, because there's really no choice otherwise. Look, there's Arm Race right there in the Power Patrol. There you go. Looks like a toy. New coming from Nerf, a missile launcher. Alright, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.